Not really. I mean, a victory is a victory, especially when it's against Florida at their house. This was a team victory, and I owe a lot to our defense, man. They played great, probably the best I've ever been around. Those guys collectively played a great game, so that saved us a lot of time.
Jimbo said he called it a little bit differently once he could see the defense was dominating. Did you take less chances just knowing that?
I guess you could say that. Not just playing smart. I wasn't going to do anything for us to lose the game. Not trying to be conservative, but just making the smart play. Not trying to force anything because our defense was playing so great. So I was just trying to manage the game.
E.J., how's this feel to end the year, considering what happened last week and all that? I mean, what's it do for them?
Yeah, it feels great. I mean, I personally don't feel like I played great, but we won the game. Against Florida Gators. I mean, they were telling us it hasn't been done in a long time. Being state champs twice in a row. So that's huge. Be able to beat Miami and Florida. We played great. I thought we had a good game today.
How important was it to punch it in there those 2 times early?
It was huge, because that was where we had been struggling for the past couple of weeks as far as short yardage and goal line and things like that. So we were able to execute.
What about having the football there from the 20 and goal line situations both those times?
Yeah, that makes it a lot easier. That's all I was saying. Special teams and defense set us up. Got us those scores pretty much. We put us in each position and just had to take care of the ball. We punched it in.
The DBs had a big night to really set you up with that field position. Just talk about what they were able to contribute.
Those guys had a huge night. They were ball hawks all night. And, that's what I see in practice all the time. So I wasn't very surprised, but I was extremely happy for all those guys. Terrence Parks getting a pick. G5 always doing a great job, being an assassin at corner. And I think Mike Harris got one and two. A couple other guys I'm sure got one. So I was extremely happy. Anytime my defense is out there getting turnovers for us, that's huge for us.
What does this win do for you guys? How important was it before heading into your bowl game?
It's huge. Definitely wanted to end the season on a good note, especially coming off a bad game last week. The heart-crushing loss to UVA. So being able to beat Florida Gators, anytime you can beat Florida, man. I don't care if we had lost all our games up to this point and won this one. That's huge.
Do you think you kind of turned some heads in the bowl selection committee?
I'm not sure. That's not up to me. So we'll see. Hopefully, we get a good one.
Was it frustrating at all as an offense? You guys were
it was. At times it was. Because, I mean, I'm not used to being in a slow pace like that. I think that's probably the least amount of yards I've ever thrown for since I've been playing football. So I've been taking stats or whatever. But it happened. It's a part of the game. We won the game. That's all that matters. I'm not going to be upset about it.
Are you looking forward more to the rest now or getting back to bowl practices and cleaning up the offense?
Yeah, well, obviously you get a chance to rest however long we get off and take care of our schoolwork and all that kind of stuff. Like I was telling you, I'm graduating, so I got to finish up strong. But get back into bowl practices and all that kind of stuff and get ready to play whoever we're going to play.
E.J., how much did the game plan change? Jimbo said he had sort of made an adjustment considering the way the defense had played. Right. How much did that game plan change as the game went on?
Yeah, we thought we'd be able to attack those guys vertically, especially when they've been playing a lot of man-to-man out wide. So we were hoping that we'd be able to win out wide at wide receiver. We could take advantage of that, through the air. But it changed. It changed the offense, and we were just going to do what Coach called. I mean, it happened, and we won.
How much of that seemed to be a function of their defensive line just putting pressure on you?
yeah, those guys were good. They were really good. Put a lot of pressure on our offensive line and myself. But Coach Fisher called the game. We still won, man. So that's all that matters to me.
Coach talked about how physical this game was, the intensity and the hitting. Is that something that you noticed a difference in as something week from week?
Not really. I just think the fact that all our games are physical. Those guys were just big. Whenever you have big guys that are pounding on you and hitting you and things like that, it's going to be more of a blow. But I mean, I know it was going to be a smash mouth type game. Our defense was hurting those guys as well. So everybody was getting popped.
How good does it feel then with that type of game to come out on top and win that way?
Right, yeah, it's huge. I mean, it was probably one of those games like a long time ago back in the 60s where they didn't throw the ball a whole lot, 40 yards passing or whatever, and just, however many yards rushing, just, you win the game. So that's all that matters to me, honestly. I mean, I wish I could have played more. I wish I could have threw 500 yards, all that kind of stuff, but we won the game, so that's all that matters.
What were the conversations like on the sideline between series? I mean, I know you're ahead,
right,
but how do you keep from not getting frustrated?
Right, yeah. The main thing was to continue to get first downs, and that's something that Coach Fisher was pressing us or pushing us to do because we were up. Our defense was playing great, and I'm always the type of person, if our defense is going to do well for us, we need to do well for the defense. Not go 3 and out and get those guys right back on the field. You always want to capitalize, and you can put your foot on the team's throat. That's what you need to do as an offense. So we got to get better. Got to get a lot better.
How tough was that audible there on that first drive? It looked like maybe there was some miscommunication.
Yeah, it was loud. It was definitely loud. But
were you changing the play there?
Yeah, I was. And it's something we had practiced all week. The guys hurt me. Just small things, small errors. We just got to fix.
You guys seem to be making a nice little progression offensively. The last couple weeks, just something has changed.
Right.
Any idea to know what has changed? You guys have been better than this.
Yeah, definitely. We've been a lot better than this. I don't know. I don't know if it's because the season's getting late and guys are getting tired, but you can't get tired. You know, and I think this week off or whatever we get as far as rest, you know, is going to be huge. But you got to keep pushing. You know, I'm not going to make any excuses. We just got to keep pushing. Got to get better.